everyone. Welcome to the Unit 2 Melodic Dictation video. In this video, we're going to, again, pull together everything that we've learned through the whole unit and apply it to some melodic dictation. So it's nothing more than you've already done. We're just putting it together in a package. All right, so we are using the whole scale. We're going to have some small skips, but that's it. Okay, and we are going to do one dictation in... Well, both dictations are in 4/4, and one is going to use the quarter note as the smallest beat, and it's going to be 4 measures. And the second one is going to have the 8th note as the smallest beat, but it's only going to be 2 measures. Okay, and that is the good summary of what you're going to be doing in Aurelia for your practice for this unit. Okay, so your first dictation, right? Our first step is to investigate what we have. So we are in major, I'll tell you that much, and we're in bass clef. We're in D major for this key here. We're in 4/4, and we start on Mi, or F sharp. Okay, so you know that much. You know you can set up your rhythm. You know somewhere here at the end of it, you're going to end on D. We won't really know where until we get to the rhythm, right? So let's jump into the rhythm. So we're going to get 4 beats per measure. So make your rhythmic marks. Okay, good. So now we have our quarter notes for this first one, so we don't have to worry about the subdivisions. It's just to get you used to doing a dictation with the whole scale. All right, so we are in D major, except we are down here. We're in bass clef. So these first 2 listenings just take down the rhythm. What you're going to do, what you need to do, what you should do is count out loud with me and write as you go. Okay, you should be fairly comfortable at using your pencil as your instrument along with my voice or the instrument being played or the recording. So you're setting up your little duet right, with your pencil and me playing. You're playing a duet with me and you're writing down the rhythm on the staff, right? So you should be going along, do group. Kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Okay, so let's count out loud. Let's count through the whole thing, and you're going to count with me while you're taking down the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try that again. If you're not counting out loud with me, count out loud. It doesn't matter how many times I tell my students to count out loud with me. They never do. And it makes me lonely. So count with me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Pause your video, do your rhythmic marks, and then I'll show you the rhythmic marks, and then pause your video and do the note values. Okay, so first pause, rhythmic marks. Okay, so hopefully you were just checking your rhythmic marks and you didn't need to do all that much with them. So here are our rhythmic marks. There we go. And actually we can put that there because that's our last note. So now we know that that's going to be a D. Okay, so now what you want to do, I would say maybe do this below the staff or above, wherever it makes sense for you, is to translate these into note values. So pause the video, translate into note values, and then come back. Okay, so hopefully you didn't have trouble with that since it's a pretty straightforward dictation with just the quarter notes and the half notes, but check your work against what I wrote here on the screen. So we have quarter, quarter, half, quarter, 4 quarters, 2 quarters, a half, 2 quarters, and a half. Good. So now let's get the melody. So our next step is to give it the beginning and the end and any landmarks that you might hear. So if you hear a really low, like the lowest note of the melody, mark that out. If you hear a high note that sticks out to you, mark that out. But most importantly, get the first measure and the last measure. There's not a lot of notes in this, so just get the first measure and the last measure. You probably already have a pretty good sense of it because you've heard it twice. Let's try it. 1. You can keep counting. I'm going to be quiet so that you can hear the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if that is too advanced for you, what you can also do is in between each note, draw a contour line for it going down or up. I'm just making this up. I'm actually not even looking at the melody right now. So you just want to have some sort of line indication, and that's another way you can break it down in between notes. So we did that in the pitch dictation, right? You can do that again here to help yourself out even more. Listen once more. Get just the first few notes and the last few notes. 3, 4. Okay, so let's look at the first couple notes. So what happens? You go down, do, 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 and then what do? Do you go up by step? No, because then you would return. It would be do, do, do. So it has to be do, do, do. Do, do, do. Sorry. Mi, re, fa. Okay, so that's a good start there. Let's jump to the end. How do we get back to do? So we end here on do. And then do we step down or do we skip down? Here would be step. Mi, re, do. It's much tighter. What we have is do, do, do. Are those skips? Yes, they are skips. So that means if you can just go backwards. If it's it's a skip, if you know what kind of interval it is, you don't necessarily have to figure out each and every note, but you can work backwards if you know what interval it is. So we have sol, mi, do. So there you go. So far we have half of the dictation. Mi, re, mi, re, fa, a bunch of stuff, and then sol, mi, do. Okay, so now let's try and get the next measure. There's some skips here. There's actually quite a few steps. So try to listen for skip versus step. So you could write between notes. You could write a K or a T. You could also draw your contour lines, maybe make them bigger if they're a skip versus a step, whatever works for you. Okay. Try and let's do 2 more listenings for the rest of this, and then we'll talk about it. 3, 4. Okay, so we come back to do, if you didn't hear that, here. So if you're listening for those landmarks in the previous part, right, then you're getting those little hints. So right now we've moved on to, if in case I didn't mention it too, they get the details, but use some logic to fill in what you don't know section. So we know that we're going to do, and we know that we're here. And then what is this? Is this a step or a skip? And then what's going on in here? So listen for where things are coming back. Let's try it again. 3, 4. Okay, so we have in here a series of skips. So I'll make kind of longer lines for skip. Oops. So we skip down, which means that we're going to re, skip down again, T, and then we skip down again to sol. And then we go back up. So this should sound fairly familiar. And then because we end on do, that can be an easy one to pick out. So you could even work backwards if you needed to there. And then here it sounds like we're supposed to do do, re, mi, but we don't. We do do, re, fa. So step, skip. And then a skip. And then sol, ti, do. Okay, so. Okay, so that is our answer. Let's check our work. So hopefully it's the answer, right? Because we need that last step of check our work. Now, the trick is that it is easy to sing what you heard, and sing the solfege that you see on the page, but not have it line up, if that makes sense. So you want to be singing and asking yourself as you're singing, like, does that feel like sol? Does it feel like I just want to step from sol to fa, or did I actually go further? So that's how you're checking your work. You're not just singing and sort of casually going about it. You're really using it as a way to check, does what you're singing line up with what you see on the page? Mi, re, fa, re, ti, sol, ti, do, re, fa, sol, mi, do. There you go. Okay, brilliant. Let's move on to the next one. So now we have a new melody. It is in B flat major. Key of B flat major. We're in treble clef. We're in 4/4, and we have eighth notes, which you can see from the very first note. So let's make our rhythmic marks. There we go. And now I'm going to make eighth notes. There's a little subdivision in between. Okay. So you're in B flat major. What solfege do you begin on? Sol. If you can read that, sol. And then we're going to end on do. So B flat, wherever we end up on do. So now you're going to count out loud with me and take down the rhythmic dictation. So 2 listings for the rhythm. And remember to keep your pencil going along nice and evenly with the playing. Okay. So here's your key. And we begin on sol. Actually, we're up an octave. 3. Count out loud with me. 3. So you're counting, you're writing, and maybe even tapping your foot. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try it again. I'll go a little bit slower. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Double check your rhythmic marks. I'm going to fill mine in here. Okay, good. So, and we know we're going to end on do, so we know that this has to be some B flat. It might be up here, it might be down there, it might be way up here. It's not going to be way up here. But, so yeah, I'm not going to force you more than like an octave and a half away. That would be crazy from your starting pitch. So it's safe to assume that it's here or down here. Okay, so now you're going to translate your rhythmic marks into note value. So pause the video and take care of that and then come back. Okay, here you go. Here's the answer. So we have eighth, eighth, quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, and we end on do. So now it is map out the big picture, get your starting pitches, get your ending pitches, list for anything where you hear do come back or even do come in at all. Maybe a point of rest, repeating notes. There is a repeating note that happens quite a bit. So if you can hear where that happens, you're in good shape. Okay, so here's your third listening. So now we're getting the big picture stuff. So get the first few notes, see if you can get the first half of the first measure, and then figure out how you get back to do at the end. 3 and 4 and. Okay, listen again. 3 and 4 and. Okay, what happens at the beginning? Do, can you sing it? Do, do, do. So we end up in the same place where we started. Do, sol, do. Is that a step or a skip? It's a step. Sol, la, sol. And then don't worry about the rest of it for now. How do we get to the ending? We end on do. Do, 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 do. That lovely ti, re, do that we have so often. It's going to become ingrained in your memory very, very soon. You're not going to be able to forget it. Okay, so we've got those filled in. Did you hear anything repeating? You probably did. Where did you hear it repeating? Listen again. See if you can get the contour mapped out and maybe steps versus skips. Okay, 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we go do, 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 do. Sing that. Do, 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 do. So we get to a note here that should sound familiar. That will help you can get that. Listen again. 3 and 4 and. Okay, try and sing it again. Do, 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 have this sing-songy pattern, which is, it just wraps around. It's this little do, 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 skip, 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 step, skip, step. Sorry, the pictures. Do, 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 skip, step, skip, step. Okay. Now here, what's going on here? We're going down. Are we going by step or skip? Here's step. Do, 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 do. And here's skip. Do, 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 do. So it's going by skip. So it's going to skip down, which would be to D. And then what happens? See if you can fill in the rest of this, okay? And then we're going to look at the answer. 3 and 4 and. So it comes to rest on sol right here. So sol, la, do, ti, re, do. So we've got that. That was a little bit easier. Here we go. Sol, la, sol, mi. Then what happens? It goes to re, mi, fa. Okay, let's try and sing through this to check our work. Sol, la, sol, mi, re, mi, fa, sol, la, do, ti, re, do. Okay, good. That's it. So now go over to Aurelia and do the practice exercise. So have one set with just quarter notes as the smallest note, and then one step with and one set with eighth notes at the smallest note. And do those until you can get like a 90% or higher on each section. Okay, I will talk to you in the next unit. So that wraps it up for unit 2. I'll see you there. Bye.